Good morning and a Merry Christmas from my family to yours. God bless you all. Hope you've had a fantastic year here as we wind down 2023, a truly historic year. And in today's video, we're going to make it quick. I got strict marching orders to make this a very quick session. I had to interrupt dancing and singing Christmas carols with the little one. Maybe some of you who have kids know about Miss Rachel. We've been listening to the Miss Rachel Christmas song deal all morning, dancing and singing along. So I'm on strict orders to make this a quick video and get back to the Christmas activities. So let's get it done. I just want to say thank you guys. It's been a great year for our community. The support has been tremendous. If you want to get tapped in with our community on a deeper level, it's all over at my website, zachrector.com. We have all of our community resources along with the access to our Patreon, which brings you to our exclusive Discord community. Right now, I've been running a deal through the end of this year. Save 13% on your Patreon membership by signing up for a one-year membership. Save 13% and join us in the group. We would love to have you. Also consider talk with your tax advisor or accountant about writing off the cost as a business expense. Now, without further ado, let's get right on into it. The market's not moving too much, other than it's been a very Merry Christmas for the Solana bros and the Solana boys and girls. So wishing everyone in the Solana community a very Merry Christmas, and we got a couple things to talk about by the end of this video. You guys might be thinking I am the Grinch that stole the Solana pump, because I'm a little bit worried that it might be coming to an end here shortly. Let's take a look at the charts into our Bitcoin, taking a look at this thing, chopping sideways, daily chart. You've seen that, throughout the course of this month, we've just been hanging really above this level, 40,000. Tap back down here to 40,500 a couple times, but building a little bit of support, and that was good to see. See, when we first got this major pullback, you can recall I said this was healthy, guys. This is good. We need this structure. And we're going to see, because it's very interesting, we have the Bitcoin ETF hype narrative that has carried us all the way up here to nearly 45,000. And we are just a couple weeks away from seeing whether or not those Bitcoin ETFs get approved or delayed or denied. For Ethereum, hanging out just under 2,300. And for XRP at 62. For XLM, we're just above 12.5 cents. And for Algorand, we've enjoyed a little bit of a pump there. Now, Algorand's one that I've already taken profit on a long time ago when it was over $1. And I currently don't have a bag, but I'm going to be looking at maybe accumulating a little bit more here if we do get that pullback that I am expecting. Solana, broke above 100 and then did a little bit of a pullback here. But you can see that Solana has just continued on up past $100. So congratulations to everyone there. And congratulations to everyone in the cryptocurrency space and the precious metals. And we're probably actually going to see the stocks. The stocks have continued up as well, as our DXY here has really just fallen off back down to 101. And this is inversely correlated with your stocks and with your cryptocurrencies and your precious metals. When that DXY is coming back down, our cryptos are going back up. And that's exactly what's happened. When you zoom out, you can see that we topped out here in October at 107, and we have fallen significantly ever since. In October, that's when we got the Bitcoin, the fake news article came out that the ETF had been approved. That was fake news, but that's what started the Bitcoin rally, and that was on October 14th, right around this day. Okay, so as we've fallen off here about 5.5% for the DXY, we have enjoyed the pump in crypto. Now we zoom out a little bit and you can see the DXY topped out last year in October, right towards the end of September, October. And the reason why I'm showing you guys this here this morning is I just want to ask the question, what is the case to be made for the DXY going back up? See, it went all the way up here to 114 September into October of last year. And that was because the Fed was raising rates at the fastest pace. The dollar was the cleanest shirt in the closet, and the currencies around the world were burning down. Now, the same thing has continued, but the DXY has topped out and basically been down all of this year, except for the second half of this year until October. That's where we've topped out. And then the last couple of months, we've been falling. And so the question I have is, what is the case for the DXY to go back up? If the Fed's done raising rates, that's what was providing strength. What's going to be providing strength for the dollar? What's going to make folks, want to be holding dollars as we see countries around the world ditching the dollar, right? So the good news is that for crypto, for precious metals, and for your stocks as well, if that DXY continues on this trajectory, we should see the alternative assets that we hold pump, precious metals and crypto, and the traditional stock market enjoy the rally while it lasts. But just remember that by the time the Fed starts cutting rates, usually that's when we start to see the market roll over. It's going to be interesting to see how crypto performs during this correction. But then I'm expecting the Fed to come in with the money printer to cut the rates. And that is once again going to send us back into that next bull run into 2024. So strap in, enjoy your Christmas, get ready for the new year. Because although I'm expecting a black swan scenario to correct us, to bring us down, liquidity crisis is not over. Americans are running out of excess savings. On the other side of that, we probably get a V-shaped recovery after the Fed comes back in and saves the day. Right on into the news, though. We got to make it quick, don't we? This is what we got to be looking at right now. Do stocks really go up? And what you're looking at right here is the S&P composite and adjusted S&P composite. And this is adjusted to M2 money supply growth. Now, what this comes on back to is the fact that I've been saying, when you look at the real rate of inflation, that's where we have to hold our benchmark. You know, inflation got all the way up to 9.1% based off the CPI lie last year. We know that the real inflation, if you calculated it how they used to, would probably be double that. And I just suggested we round up to 20%, right? CPI lie was 9%, double that to 18, might as well round up to 20. And as you've experienced, anything that matters, the inflation is 10 to 20% or more, okay? So when we're looking for gains, I'm not looking for a 5-10%. You know, the bonds at 5%. No thanks. Not going to do a deal with the devil. S&P 500. What are we going to try to do? Another 10%, another 15%? You're barely breaking even when you look at the real rate of inflation, which is why I'm in cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies like XRP, where I'm looking for that 5, 10x or more. When we look at gold, when we look at the other currencies, the situation is much worse in other countries. Over the past 2 weeks in Argentina, store owners have seen the price of beef surge by 70%, fuel is up over 60%, and diaper prices have doubled. Why do you think I've been talking about stacking our essentials? It's not just for a rainy day. It's not just for 10 days of darkness. It's because the value gets stored in real utility, real commodities, real diapers. You know, one could make the case you would be better off holding diapers than you would fiat currencies. That's the real situation that we're at right now. And the currency devaluations destroy the value of local currency very quickly. We're seeing it around the world. Here in the United States, although they've said that we've won the fight against inflation, we've brought it back down to 3%. Depending on what metric you look at, that fight is still far from over. And I believe that inflation is going to be coming roaring back in 2024. Now, taking a little bit closer look here at Solana, I don't want to be the Grinch that stole the Solana pump, but we got to take a look at it. Solana fanboys don't know they are actually paying $100 million in fees per month to use the network. This is from Duo9, and he did a little bit of research here on Solana. Solana runs on subsidies and inflation equals price crashes and subsidies crash equals validators leave and chain halts. Now you know why Solana has infinite supply equals death spiral to zero. Now it's interesting because I was actually looking at this in the last video that I did, Solana passes XRP. Maybe you saw that video. I was wondering why it showed the infinite symbol for the max supply. Because I was actually looking at the tokenomics and I was like, well, this is actually pretty good. You know, they only have 565 million tokens. They've already got circulating supply of 427. I was like, this is pretty good. But why does the max supply have the infinite sign? Well, this is why. And we dig a little bit deeper here. Did you know that 90% of the validators on Solana are subsidized by Alameda and the Solana Foundation? Now, we knew about the ties going back to Alameda, Sam Bankman-Fried, and that was the investment arm of Sam Bankman-Fried was Alameda Research, right? And so this is no surprise for us. We've already, kind of knew this, but if you dig a little bit deeper here, you can see it's very clear. And then he wrote right here, I wrote a script to get precise numbers, and here's what I got. Out of the 1997 validators, that's 1,997 validators, 1818 received delegations from the Foundation and Alameda. In total, they have delegated 106 million Solana, $73 million from the foundation, and $33 million from Alameda. And that is one thing that I did point out in my last video, was that a large portion of the supply is still held at the foundation and all of the early insiders. So this is why we've been saying it's a VC-backed coin, and it's also been it's also been pumped by the shills. You've seen the biggest YouTubers in the space pumped it last bull run. And then I reposted this kid, and I'm not trying to kick people while they're down. This guy, he's a real estate bro who's absolutely folded, and he did scam his people. So he's got something else coming to him. I'm not here to deal with that. I'm not here to judge him. But then I saw that he's selling his, he has a separate Solana account. And he says it's also followed by some Bitcoin community members as well. And he's got a little Solana Twitter account that has not even 4,000 followers. And he's trying to sell it for like $3,000 or $4,000. So, I mean, shoot, if we can sell our accounts for that, you guys can put in your offer on my Twitter account and I'll sell that sucker tomorrow. I mean, but it reiterates the point. You have a guy who is running a Solana account. What does he believe in? You see how shallow these shills are? So, not to beat up on him too much, but it just reiterates the point. VC backed, pumped by shills. Classic story time and time again that we've seen in this cryptocurrency space. Nothing new happening here. Digging a little deeper, Solana fanboys tell you not to worry about Solana's inflation because it's only 6% and you can stake. The actual Solana inflation, though, in December of 2020, we had 46 million tokens. In December of 2023, we have 427 million tokens. That's 900% inflation in 3 years. Who do you trust more? Infinite supply plus dilution equals VC's best friend. And we highlighted how the FTX bankruptcy process is already going through, and they've literally dumped over $1 billion worth of Solana when it was at $68, and then again when it was at 73. And I hope for the FTX bankruptcy filing that maybe they can sell a little bit more here, over $100, and God willing, they can go make those FTX holders even. That's what I hope that's being done. What's most likely being done is that, they're selling it off, and that's what this whole pump has been about. And I hope and pray that the FTX holders get made whole. And it's not that I'm trying to beat up on Solana. It's just, I want everyone to understand what Solana, how it runs, what it's been built off of, and what got Solana to this point. And we got to ask the question, will the pump continue? Okay. That's all we're doing here. Now, speaking of the FTX bankruptcy process, Mr. Huber shares, did you know that Sullivan and Cromwell, and we know them all too well, don't we, here as we have uncovered the Ethereum free pass, Sullivan and Cromwell, making sure that they take care of their buddies at the SEC. Did you know that Sullivan and Cromwell ensured in the FTX proceedings that sales of Bitcoin, Ether, and quote-unquote insider-affiliated tokens must be approved by an oversight board? Why this special rule for these two tokens? Can you explain this to me, Mark Fagel? Thank you. And so, as I've been saying, I'm not trying to beat up on it too much. It's just the facts. It's just what's taking place. And I just want our community to be cautious. If you sold off your as everybody in the comments wants to tell me, I already sold my XRP. I moved in Solana and I'm rich now. Great. God bless you. That's great. Will the pump continue? Be careful. Now, as I titled this session, I want to reiterate, although we haven't gotten Solana pump for XRP, although we haven't gotten a bonk coin, we've seen all these memes go, we've seen Solana go, we've seen all this go, and we would have loved to see XRP go. But is everything still at play? Yes. And what have we fought for? Clarity on behalf of the entire industry. And it takes a lot to step up and fight the SEC like Brad, Chris, and Ripple did. And I've literally been watching on Twitter over the past week or so. Max FUD. Been in my comment section, it's been on Twitter, and I'm seeing grown men not want to take accountability for their investments, but they want to tag David Schwartz and say, I'm done with the Riddlers, I'm done with you, David, and I'm dumping my bag. Good luck, God bless to you. How about you get in here and join the fight to save our country? As I've been saying, this is much bigger than XRP pumping. This is much bigger than some crypto gains. Do you want to save our country? Well, Brad, Chris, and the team at Ripple, they did. They did, and they do want to see the United States maintain the gold standard of capital markets, including digital assets. And so when we take a look at what happened here, Stuart Alderati sharing that the SEC tried to cut them a deal. and Brad and Chris, and most of these guys would have, as you've seen. What did Kraken do? Kraken settled up for their staking program. 10 months later, the SEC comes back around and backstabs them again with another lawsuit. And so this is why I'm glad that they didn't bend over and take the deal. Brad, Chris stood up and said, absolutely not. We're going to fight this thing all the way through, including going all the way to the Supreme Court if we have to. Before the SEC sued Ripple, Chris and Brad, 3 years ago today, they offered us the following settlement. That's right, folks. We've just hit the 3-year marker of this lawsuit, which will be coming to an end in 2024. Cheers to that. The SEC would announce that the market, this is what the deal was. The SEC would announce to the market that XRP is a security, and the market would be given a short window to come into compliance. We said no because 1, XRP is not a security, and 2, the SEC never built a framework for crypto compliance. No matter the spin that Clayton, Hinman, Gensler, or anyone else puts on this case now, it has always been about one thing, proving that XRP is not, in it of itself, a security, and we put everything on the line. Few thought that we would win, but we did. In the process, we exposed the SEC for the hypocritical tyrant it is, and the industry in the United States lived to fight another day, onward to 2024, while the rest of the space bent over, just took it from the SEC, and was happy to cut a little settlement check because they didn't care about fighting for the industry. They didn't care about saving this country. God, no. God, no. They bent over, they cut the deal, cut the check, and they closed up their shop, or they got out of this country. Brad, Chris, and Ripple fought on our behalf. And I'm telling you right now, a lot of folks are going to say, well, that's great. When is the coin going to pump? Well, if you'd have a little bit of patience, you'd understand that we're getting regulations set right now. We still don't have them yet. We're getting regulations set. We're getting custody standards set. And then we're getting the utilities that we need to allow a DeFi space on top of the XRP ledger flourish, all the way from little Joe Blows like us, all the way up to the biggest institutions in the world. So sit down, understand that it's, time to enjoy our Christmas. Let's set some new goals for 2024, because as we've been saying on our program is not about just hold our bag of XRP and pray and solve riddles and do decodes and hope that our XRP goes to 589. That has never been our program. Never. XRP is just one part of it. And is everything at play? Absolutely. Is the partnerships growing? Absolutely. From 400 to 500 partnerships. From just a couple central banks, talking with Ripple, to now 10 central bank projects and partnerships with Ripple and the XRP ledger. You're just seeing that Palau moved to phase 2 of their pilot using the XRP ledger. And Raoul Paul puts this into perspective for us, because it's not just the XRP community that's complaining. You also have a bunch of people in the Ethereum community complaining as well. He says, only in our weird and wonderful crypto corner of the world can ETH do 100%, and everyone is utterly miserable because Solana went up 1,000%. Got to love this asset class unlike any other. In 10 years' time, we will look back and yearn for these early days. Enjoy it. And that's the thing. XRP's gone up about 250% from the lows of last year. From 30 cents all the way up to $1, and we crashed all of the exchanges. And people want to blame Brad and Chris and David and the Riddlers and somebody else. Don't want to take accountability. Well, we could look at the exchanges that crashed our pump. And as I'm expecting them to crash our pump again when we go up to new all-time highs, be ready for that one. So if you want somebody to blame, I believe that what gives you the most power is taking accountability for our own decisions, and understand that everything is still at play. There's a reason why we still have as much faith and conviction in the investments that we've made, not just in XRP. We're also talking about silver. We're talking about everything else between our businesses, how we're about to move into the real estate asset class, how we're moving into the private equity space. So many opportunities before us. And I just found that this picture that we got from the Bearable guy here summed up my 2023 perfectly. Take a look at this one. Bearable guy 123. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Bear 2024, whatever that is. And a little bit of a decode to be done here. Taking a look at the picture. We got the bear, we got the jester, we got the deal, we got the knight protecting us from the king, protecting us from the hidden elite trying to get at us. And I shared this one right here. I said, I said right here, sums up my 2023. And you got the bear watering his little sunflower, watering and tending to his garden, focusing and keeping his eyes on the prize, while the world around us faces incredible troubles, incredible challenges. It is up to us to be the leaders in our community. It's up to maintain order within our house. For me, XRP is maintaining, everything that we've been talking about, the partnerships, the adoption, the growth, the ecosystem has so much utility coming to it. Price will follow. I firmly believe in that. And not only have we been growing our little sunflower, which is our XRP holdings, we've also been taking advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth by taking other positions in other cryptocurrencies. We're looking at private equity. We're looking at real estate. We're running our businesses. We're making sure that we get a raise at our job. We're making sure that our job is still going to be around as the rest of the space is going through a recession. Everybody else is, heading to the bunker. And we're still here putting up the fight, not caving into the SEC, standing up to the enemy. And I think on one end, I find myself being the bear here, watering and tending to my garden. But then on the other end, I find myself also putting on that armor, putting up a fight against those who are trying to destroy an opportunity here in not just the United States of America, but worldwide. And so if you want to put up a fight with me, if you want to stand against this resistance, well, when we're not on the battlefield, back at home, we're tending to our garden, we're tending to our family, we're going to go enjoy our Christmas, we're going to set some goals for this new year, and we're going to go out and absolutely crush it in 2024. And I'm telling you right now, I firmly believe the XRP will be heading to all-time high in 2024. It is going to be a blessed year for all of us, but we have to maintain our focus. We have to keep our eyes on the prize. We can't capitulate and give in to all the FUD, all the narratives, and all the distractions around us. Stay locked in, and let's go enjoy this Christmas and crush it in 2024. I appreciate everyone for stopping by. Please make sure that you like this video, share it out far and wide, and everything else can be found on my website, zachrector.com, and take advantage of the special that we're running right now, 13% off your Patreon when you sign up for a 1-year membership. Talk to your accountant about writing it off. God bless you all. See you in the next one.